Alright class, today's lecture is based on John Dewey's reflective thinking sequence. It should help you complete your small group problem solving project, or at least help you prepare for the small group problem solving project. Part of it needs to be done online in Blackboard, and the other part will be done at our face-to-face meeting. So one of the things that you need to know is that this problem-solving method is different than the one that is in the textbook in Chapter 10. So you may want to print out these slides before listening to this lecture so that you can take notes on it. And your project is based upon this lecture, not the information on the problem-solving approach in Chapter 10. So one of the things that will help you understand is looking at this big sheet here, the Speech 1311 John Dewey's Reflective Thinking Sequence handout. This is in Blackboard under the chapters 9 and 10 folder. Your assignment overall as a group will be to apply this problem-solving method to your assigned topic. So after you've read the major assignment, you realize that each member in your group is doing research on your topic and entering that research into a wiki page in Blackboard, which is basically building an encyclopedia page of all the information and research for your topic, and all of the groups will be contributing to this problem-solving method. In the wiki page, you will be responsible for entering information for step 1, defining and analyzing your problem. You will enter information on defining the problem and analyzing the problem. And then for step 2 down here, establishing the criteria that does not, I repeat, does not go into your wiki page. I will give you that information at our face-to-face meeting. And then step 3, consider possible solutions that does go into the wiki page. So this lecture is designed to help explain the problem-solving method, and then also to help you realize what information do you need to put on your wiki page. The assignment, as you read through it, states that you need to put in the define and analyze information, all of that, and then step 3, considering your possible solutions. So let's go ahead and begin the lecture on John Dewey's problem-solving method. He was an educator born in 1859, did most of his research in the late 1800s to early 1900s. One of the things that we need to know is most of the time when working in small groups in a work environment, people say, okay, we have a problem, how are we going to fix it? And they sit down all the employees, and every single person starts just yelling out possible topics, possible solutions to the problem. What the problem-solving method does is it makes us slow down, and it makes us think about the problem before we start coming up with possible solutions. The idea here is that if we stop and think about what's causing the problem, what are the effects of the problem, then we'll come up with a better, longer-lasting solution. We will hopefully avoid the problem of just coming up with a solution that's like a Band-Aid fix. You use that solution this one time, but 3 weeks from now, the same problem might occur again because the group didn't really analyze what's the root cause of the problem. So going through John Dewey's problem-solving method, we're going to start here with step 1, defining and analyzing the problem. Now, for example, for lecture, we're going to try to solve Austin's traffic. We should be able to do that in 5 or 10 minutes, I think. So the first thing you need to do is define the problem. Defining the problem basically has 2 steps to it. The first part is coming up with a topic question. So right now you have a topic that you've been assigned to. It might be e-waste, might be childhood obesity. We have a topic called Austin traffic. We need to take that topic and put it into a question. Now this question should be an open-ended question that leads to a possible solution. In other words, when I ask this question, it should require you to stay. If we were in a meeting and I ask this question, it should require you to stay and hang out and come up with possible solutions. The topic question should not be a statement. Austin traffic is bad. That is a statement. That does not require you to stay in the meeting. Yes, Austin traffic is bad. Okay, meeting's over, I guess. So that would not work. It should not be a yes or no question right here. Is Austin traffic bad? Yes. Okay, meeting's over. We answered the question. So no statements and no yes or no questions. It should be open-ended that causes us to have to come up with possible solutions. So a better question would be, how can we alleviate Austin's traffic problem? Now we need to stay at the meeting and discuss it and come up with some good answers. That's how you know you have a good topic question. The second part under defining the problem is defining key terms. What words in that question could have a different meaning to the different group members? What words might add confusion? So we need to make sure we're on the same page, that we're all trying to solve the same problem. How can we alleviate Austin's traffic? Pretty much I would say that the key terms here would be Austin's traffic. Are you thinking about MOPAC? Are you thinking about the upper lower decks? Are you thinking about Palmer? Are you thinking about the red lights on Grand Avenue? What are you thinking? We need to make sure that the group is thinking the same problem. So for our purpose, we're defining Austin's traffic as traffic on I-35 during rush hour. So although there's a lot of problems with traffic throughout Austin, this group is specifically going to work on I-35. Continuing on, now that we have a topic question and we defined our key terms, we're going to analyze the problem. Now if you look at your handout, analyzing the problem consists of 3 subsections: the duration of the problem, the causes of the problem, and the effects of the problem. So the first step, duration. How long does the problem exist? Basically, you're going to use this information to help you come up with some good information about the problem and possible solutions. We're going to use it to determine what solutions have been tried in the past, what worked, what didn't work about them. We can use it to identify possible causes over time. So we're going to look at the period of time. When was this a problem? When did it become a problem? What significant things happened back then that may have caused the problem? And for us, we can just basically say Austin's traffic became increasingly worse during the tech boom of the mid-1990s. It has continued to worsen. Basically because our economy is booming compared to other states and people are moving into Austin area. So we would look back to the 1990s and forward to see what's been going on with traffic. The second subpart of analyzing the problem is to take a look at the causes. What has contributed to the problem? Now the main purpose for looking at the causes is to help us identify possible solutions later on in your work. Supposedly, you look at a cause, then you take care of that cause, it will give you a possible solution. So, for Austin's traffic, you would have the fact that we're a college town and a lot of students. 50-some thousand people go in and out of UT every week. Road construction constantly, poor public transportation or underused public transportation, poor drivers, poor road design, road construction, all sorts of things contribute to the traffic problem. So you would then later on, and I think this is a test question actually, would look to those causes to help you come up with good possible solutions. So if poor public transportation is a cause to the problem, then that leads us to a good possible solution of improving public transportation. The third subpart of analyzing the problem has us looking at effects, the effects of the problem. So what that Austin traffic is bad? What does it matter? What do we care? In essence, the possible solutions should help eliminate or minimize the effects of the problem. Also, the effects section is extremely important when trying to gain support for your work. If this was a real problem and we were trying to solve it, and we need budget money and we need our manager support, we're going to try to make the problem look as bad as possible with the effects so that they see it truly is a problem and they need to support us and give us a pretty big budget to solve the problem. So it's worth investing our time. For Austin traffic, some of the effects would be increased automobile accidents, road rage, people being late to work, late everywhere because they're sitting in traffic, wasted gas, harmful to the environment, etc. For the remaining part of the problem-solving method, let's continue on to the second video with establishing criteria. So this video will end and we'll need to open up another file.